All right, in this video, I've got the LUMIX S5 Mark II, and we're gonna build a cinema rig around the S5 II. I want to say thank you to SmallRig because SmallRig sent all of these components. This video is not sponsored by any of them, but I do want to say thank you to LUMIX and SmallRig because without these parts, I won't be able to build this rig. Now, another disclaimer I have is, do you really need all this stuff to make great videos? Absolutely not. You need a camera, you need a lens, and you need an SD card. Oh, I don't have an SD card. But you don't need all of this stuff to make great videos, but each one of these pieces, first of all, they can help in certain situations, and second of all, they actually look kind of cool. But that's a really shallow reason and not even a good reason to get some of this stuff. But if you are looking to put a rig together for your S5 II or your S5 or GH6, whatever camera you're using, a lot of these components, aside from the cage, probably will work. So I'll have everything down in the description, and they are affiliate links, and any link you use totally helps support this channel, and I really do appreciate that. All right, first we're going to start with the cage, and this is the SmallRig Black Mamba cage for the S5 II, and I like this cage for a few different reasons. The first reason is that it just fits extremely well. Second of all, it comes with a little tool that is magnetized to the bottom of the cage. So you can just pull it out, and you always have this tool accessible, and it's for a few different things. First of all, to lock it in place, and then you can also use this tool to tighten these little locking components that this cage has into the strap rings. Another great thing about this cage is that it is actually its own plate. Now, one of the things I want to mention about this whole rig is that it is built for a run and gun system. So it's a compact, lightweight run and gun system. So for that, I'm actually going to put my favorite focal length lens on, and that's the 50mm. And this is the S Prime by LUMIX, and it's an f1.8. And these S Prime lenses are fantastic. If you have not seen my video about why these lenses are so great, make sure you check that out above. And one of the things I do with my S Primes is I actually turn them into a cinema lens with this gear ring. And this gear ring you can actually get through SmallRig as well. That's just going to put some gears on your lens so that you can use that follow focus, which we're going to toss on here in just a little bit. Now that we have the lens on, I'm actually going to put this top needle rail on, and this is going to allow for a few different things. First of all, it's going to allow me to put the rail in for my follow focus. Second of all, it's going to allow me to attach the top handle. And second of all, before we get too far in, I'm going to use this wooden side handle as well, because remember, we're in a run and gun situation with this setup. And so I want to have a side handle so that I can get just a little bit wider of a hold on it. And that's just going to give me a little bit more support on the rig. And the cool thing about the side handle, other than being wooden, is that you can actually reverse this part of the attachment right here if you need to. I have it this direction because I want to be able to access my SD card port. And another cool thing is that it actually comes with a built-in tool, an Allen wrench in case you need it. You've got some top threads and a cold shoe mount. Now I have a little bit wider control on this rig, and also it's a lot easier to carry around if you're moving from one scene to the next. Next part I'm going to put on is actually the matte box, and I'm using this SmallRig mini matte box because remember, it's a compact rig, so I want to have everything as compact as possible. This is a 95mm actually on the matte box, but my lens is a 67mm, so I'm going to have to use this adapter that comes with the matte box. I'm going to toss on this adapter so that I can attach that matte box. The thing I really like about this matte box is that you can actually use your own circular ND filters, or you have the ability to actually use your rectangular square filters. So I'm just going to get this lined up and tightened up. I'm actually going to toss on a Cinebloom filter from Moment, and this is the 20% filter, and this really is going to like bloom your light source, but it's also going to take off that extreme digital look that sometimes you get with some of these mirrorless cameras like the S5 II. And then I'm going to toss on a Freewell VND filter, and that way I have access to this VND filter right here on the front of the camera inside the matte box. Then if I'm shooting outside, I can toss the hood on, and that's going to give me some really good sun protection, but I'm not going to put the hood on right now because I don't want to block this whole view. Next thing I want to do is make sure my follow focus fits in, and this is the new F60 follow focus from SmallRig. It has the wooden handle. It's also a very versatile follow focus because let's say you want to switch out to a lens that maybe doesn't have your gear rings on there. You can actually put this rubber band on this gear ring on the follow focus, and that will allow you to get a grip on a lens that does not have any type of gear ring on it. And if you want to see more details about this follow focus, make sure you check out this short that's popping up right here. But I do have a gear ring on here, so I'm actually going to put this 15mm rail on here. It's the A10 from Small Rig. And now remember, this is a very compact system, so you want to make sure that your gear ring on your lens is in a place where your follow focus isn't going to be hitting the cage, isn't going to be hitting the matte box. So right about here, I have actually pretty good placement on it. So I'm just going to tighten everything up, and that's going to allow me focus control if I'm in a run and gun situation. Now, the nice thing about the S5ii is that the autofocus is so good that you might not even need a focus system, but for this purpose, I'm putting this follow focus F60 on because it's a wooden handle. It's super versatile. Now, let me show you one more feature about this follow focus, that if you need to swap out your lens real quick, let's say you want to go to a wider view, put a 24mm on there, you just pop this up. You can quickly take your lens out, switch it out if you need to, lock it back in place, and you're ready to roll with a different focal length. So I'm actually going to go with this wooden top handle, and this is a NATO rail top handle, and that's why I actually put this top part on here, so that I have access to this handle right here that I can very easily slide on. We have side handle, follow focus, and then if we need to get some low shots, we got that top handle, or if we need to carry it from scene to scene, we got that top handle. For the monitor, I'm going to use the Adamas Ninja V because, first of all, it's a great monitor, but then it's also an external recorder if we need to. And I think I'm going to mount it to the front. Now, before I forget, another great thing about this top handle is that it actually also comes with a tool. And then you have all of these great threads and cold shoe mounts on here, top threads, side threads. And then you can also loosen this up and switch it around if you need to balance it out and get more of a front handle. All right, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to put the battery on here, but normally I would have probably a battery on the Adamas Ninja 5. But this is going to allow me to kind of adjust the screen as needed. So if I'm lower, I can put the screen down here like that. And if I'm higher and shooting, from the chest, I've got a really good view of the screen. It's not too front heavy, not too back heavy. The great thing about the S5ii is you have a full HDMI port, which is a lot more secure. But if you are still concerned about it, the Black Mamba cage does come with a lock for your HDMI cord, USB-C cords. I choose to just take it off because it kind of gets in the way with these knobs, but you have that option if you want it. And there we have a full rig build out of the S5ii. But if there's anything different that you use that you've been loving, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Now, this was built for a run and gun situation. Some other components that you might want to consider is maybe a V-mount battery. Small Rig makes some great V-mount batteries, and then maybe you want the rails on the bottom. But overall, I'd be more than happy carrying this around on any type of client shoot and swapping out batteries just as is. Now, if you want to know how I set up the S5ii for video to get the best video settings, make sure you check out this video that's popping up on your screen right here.